Hello everyone and welcome to today's lesson. I'm sorry I can't be in Great Yarmouth Library with you here today. I'm hoping that the lesson will be useful to you, covering some things that we haven't quite covered in class so far. So last lesson we looked at practice tests. I thought it was a good point, just with the exams coming a month or so away or just less than that, good chance for some of us to see how we're getting on and progressing, and also find out what areas we need to tackle. I'm going to go over the last part of what we cover in our 10-week cycle in this lesson, which is probability. Okay, so this is more for level 1s and 2s, but if you're below that, I'd still like you to give it a try, do the best you can, because you'll still learn something from it. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you what our objectives are. So today what we're looking at is identifying the likelihood of an event occurring. Okay, that's what probability is chance, the likelihood of something happening. Learners will work out probability of events in fractions. So with probability, we're often working with decimals or fractions. For today, we'll look at fractions. And learners will display probability events on a number line. During this lesson, I'm going to ask you to carry out activities. When I do so, at that point, you need to pause the button and then take the time to answer your questions, and then press play when it's time for you to go through and carry on. Now, you can pause this video, you can rewind, go back to it. You know, this is here as a resource that you can go over. So there is an advantage from this today. So here's what I'd like you to do for your very first task today. Okay, I've got an easy task, a medium task, and a hard task. For your introduction, firstly, what I would like you to do is draw the probability line that you can see above. You can see that there's 5 squares along a line. That's a probability line, and I would like you to mark it. Okay. So you draw the probability line and write the words in the correct position. You've got evens, likely, impossible, certain, unlikely. So you need to mark these words into the correct boxes. If you could give that a go now, and then pause the video. Okay, next going on to more level 1 work here. So we've got simplifying fractions in the medium section. We've got 24 over 36, 63 over 72, or 150 over 175. I'd like you to give a go at simplifying these. Remember, to simplify, you are looking for a number that goes in the top and bottom and dividing both fractions by the same number so that you get your answers. If I could ask you to give a go at that, please. Okay. If you're still doing that, obviously do pause the video. Okay, so now for the hard question. 360 people go to the cinema. 240 of them order popcorn. What percentage of people order popcorn? Give your answer to the nearest whole number. Where would this be placed on the probability line above? Okay, so read that question again. Have a look at it. Level 1s and 2s particularly, give it a go, then pause this video, and then we'll continue to go through the answers. Entry levels, you don't really be worrying about the probability line as much as anything. Okay, so to carry on, we'll go through the answers. So the first task you was given was to draw the probability line and write these words in the correct position. So our probability line always goes from 0 on the left to 1 on the right. Okay, so on the left side we have impossible. So if anything is marked on a probability line as being impossible, it's in the left side. Next to that, you have unlikely. Not impossible, but not likely to happen. In the middle, you've got evens, what we also call 50-50. There's half a chance of something happening. So, for example, a boy or a girl, there's two options. So that's generally a half chance of a child being male or female. Okay. You've got next, you've got likely, something that's likely to happen. So the sun will show today. It's something that's likely to happen. Might be raining, but the majority of the time you'll still see a little bit of the sun, unless it's a really, really bad dark day. And then we've got certain, something that actually will definitely happen. So, for example, there will be a child born today, for example. Someone will be ill today. Dead things that generally happen on a day-to-day life across the world. Now I'm going to look at the simplifying fractions. So 24/36, the number that goes into both of them is 12. So 12 goes into 24 twice, and it goes into 36 3 times. That gives us the answer 2/3. The 2 from the 12 going into 24, and the 3 because 12 goes into 36 3 times. We've then got 63/72. And we there have 7/8. For this one, can you think what times table that might be working with? It would be the 9 times table. So 7 times 9 is 63. 8 times 9 is 72. So that's how that's been worked out. And if we look at the last one, we've got 150/175. We've got 6/7. Can you think what number may have gone into the top and bottom there if you haven't already got it? The number is 25. 25 goes into 156 times. You've got 25, 50, 75, 100, 120, and 150. 125, then 150. Okay. Then you've got an extra 1 there to go into 175. So that's 7 times. So 25 goes into 150 and 175. So the hard question was 360 people go to the cinema. 240 of them order popcorn. What percentage of people order popcorn? Give your answer to the nearest whole number. Where would this be placed on the probability line? The answer is 67%. So it'd be 240 divided by 360 multiplied by 100. That's 240 divided by 360. So top fraction divided by the bottom fraction times 100. And you can see there, 67% is above evens. Evens is 50%. That's half the chance of something happening. So 67% is leaning more to certain, but it's not quite likely at this point. And if we look at this grid, every box is generally going up in 25s, okay? So impossible in this case is 0%. Unlucky is going to be 25. Evens is 50. Likely is 75. and certain is 100%. So they're going up in 25%. Okay. So next, what I've got is a worksheet that I would like you to go through. So I have attached this with your emails. So what we're looking for here is for you to give a go at a worksheet as best as you can. This will get you thinking about probability. So a draw contains 6 red socks in a tile of 10 socks. What is the probability of selecting a red sock? So if you're going through a draw and you've got 10 socks in there, what's the probability of picking out your 6 red socks? You've then got a box contains 2 blue balls and non-blue balls. What is the probability of selecting a blue ball? Okay. So what's the chance again at a blue ball? A pencil case contains 14 black pens, 5 yellow pens, and 3 blue. What is the probability of selecting a blue pen from these? A single 6-sided die is rolled. What is the probability of rolling an odd number? So on a 6-sided dice, what is the chance of getting an odd number rather than an even? Number 5, a box contains 15 red sweets out of a total of 15 sweets. What's the probability of selecting a red sweet? Number 6, a tin contains 4 50p's, 3 10p's, and a 20p. What's the probability of selecting a 50p from those coins? A single 6-sided die is rolled. Sorry, this is question 7. What is the probability of rolling 5 or above? Key word there, or above. Number 8, what is the probability of selecting an R from the name Mr. Worsley? Number 9, a single card is chosen at random from a standard deck of 52 playing cards. What is the probability of choosing a red card, a 4, a king, or a club? If you're not sure how many cards go into a pack of cards, Google it, because it is something that can come up. Number 10, a single letter is chosen at random from Bridge Learning Campus. What is the probability of choosing an N, a G, or a vowel? If you're not sure what a vowel is, again, do look it up. It's a certain few letters in the alphabet. An extension. Make up 4 probability questions with the following answers. So A is half, B is 0, C is 1, D is 2/7. At this point, if you haven't already, I'd like you to be pausing this video and going through it, working through this worksheet. Let's say working off the one that's been saved, sent to your emails. Pause this, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, so at this point, we'll go through the answers. So a draw contains 6 red socks in a tile of 10 socks. What's the probability of selecting a red sock? The answer is 6/10. However, we should simplify it to give us 3/5, because we should know that 2 goes into both 6 and 10. We can half it to 3/5. A box contains 2 blue balls and 9 non-blue balls. What's the probability of selecting a blue ball? You've got 2 out of 11 chances. So 2 out of the total of 11. Number 3, a pencil case contains 14 black pens, 5 yellow pens, and 3 blue. What's the probability of selecting a blue pen? The answer is 3 over a total of 22. Number 4, a single 6-sided dice is rolled. What is the probability of rolling an odd number? Well, you've got 1, 3, and 5. So that's 3 chances there out of 6. Of course, if we look at 3, 6, 3 is half of 6, so we can make that half. Always simplify your probability answers. Question 5. A box contains 15 red sweets out of a total of 15 sweets. What is the probability of selecting a red sweet? The answer is 1. 1 is how in probability we say 100% or 15 out of 15. It means it's going to happen. Because if there's 15 sweets and they're all red, probability is going to be 1. It's certain to happen. Number 6, a tin contains 4 50p's, 3 10p's, and a 20p. What's the probability of selecting a 50p? The answer is ideally a half or 4/8 if you haven't got that. There's a total of 8 coins and 4 50p's. Number 7, a single 6-sided dice is rolled. What's the probability of rolling a 5 or above? It is 2 over 6. You've got a chance of getting a 5 or a 6. That's a third. What's the probability of selecting an R from the name Mr. Worsley? Okay, so here we have 2 9s because there's 2 R's out of 9 letters. Number 9, a single card is chosen at random from a deck of 52 cards. What is the probability of choosing a red card? That's 26 over 52, so that's half of the pack. 4. Well, there's 4 decks, so there's 4 4s. That's 4 over 52, which can be simplified to a 13th. A king. Again, there's 4 kings in a deck. So 4 over 52 is a 13th. And a club. There's 13 clubs in the whole deck. 13 out of 52, which can be simplified to 1/4. A single letter is chosen at random from the phrase Bridge Learning Campus. What is the probability of choosing an N? It's 1 out of 20 letters. Actually, I do apologize. I disagree with the marking sheet there. It should be 2 out of 20, as there is 2 N's. A G. 2 out of 20. Yeah, you've got G in bridge and G at the end of learning. A vowel, which is A, E, or I, O, or U. 7 over 20. So we've got one I. We've got an E. Next to L, we've got another E. We've got an A. And then further down the line, we've got an I. So they're vowel letters. We also have another A in campus and a U there as well. So that's a total of 7. Okay. Regarding your extensions, please send these to me so I can have a look. I'll have to mark those individually and have a look. Okay, please could you make sure you write down the score, keep a note of it, and I would like you to email that across to me, please. Okay. So moving on now to the next bit. Label these events as impossible, likely, and so on. Okay. So what I'd like you to do at this point is, if I just read this quickly to you, then I would like you to pause the video and draw a number line and mark them on where you think they go. So the sun setting this evening is 1. Okay, what's the chance of the sun setting this evening? What's the chance of picking a £1 coin from a bag that contains only £2 coins? What's the chance of rain in June in the UK? What's the chance of snow in June in England? What's the chance of throwing an even number on a standard dice? Extension is write another event that you could place under each word on the probability line. So make up your own that can go on there. So if you pause the video now and give a go at this activity, please. Okay, so at this point, I'll start going through the answers. So here we've got getting heads when flicking a coin. Which is going to be 50-50. Okay. So the sun setting this evening, that's going to happen. So the sun sets. Let's put sun here just to make it a bit easier, but that's going to happen. Picking a £1 coin from a bag that contains only 2 coins. That's not going to happen. So I put here £1 coin. So you've got £2 coins and you can't get a £1 coin out of it. Rain in June in the UK. That's an interesting one, isn't it, really? You know, we do generally think that we are not going to get rain in June because it's summer, but it can happen quite easily. For that one, I'd say probably evens. Okay, so I'll put June, rain. Okay, snow in June in England. That's unlikely in June, isn't it? Snow, unlike rain, that's just not something you're ever really likely to see much at all. Just put June in front of it. Throwing an even number on a standard dice. So that's going to be half of it. You've got 2, 4, 6 out of 6 chances. So we'll put the dice here as well in evens. So your extension is write another event that you could place under each word in the probability line. I'll ask you all to send me your answers to that. Obviously, you're all going to have different things. So that's something I'm going to have to look at with you next time. Okay. So at this point, we're moving on now to the last part. Display probability of events on the number line. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is mark on your number line now chances of an event happening. Getting heads when flicking a coin. 6 people out of 24 pass the test. It will be Sunday tomorrow. There are 60 seconds in a minute. Rolling a number less than 5 on a dice. In a bowl of 10 fruit, there are 2 apples. Extension. Write these fractions in their approximate places on the line. You've got a fifth, 8/10, 12/24, or 3/3. So that is your extension. So pause the video, give this a go, and then I'll go through the answers with you. Okay. What I'm going to do now, if I go through the answers, I'm going to just put a letter next to each one, just so it's clear what I'm marking on the probability line. I don't have a great deal of space on this to type or write. So if I do this, it will just show a little bit easier to all, I'm hoping. So you can see me labeling them all A to F. Okay, so what's the chance of getting heads when flicking a coin? A, that's 50-50. Okay, it's half a chance, either heads or tails. B, it will be Sunday tomorrow. Well, that would be more in the unlikely chart time here. Okay. Reason being that in a week, there's 7 days. 1/7 is not much at all. Okay. It's less than these little every fifth that's going on here. So we put it here, getting towards impossible. Obviously, it's not impossible, but it's below unlikely. Rolling a number less than 5 on a dice. Okay, so rolling a number less than 5 on a dice. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd say there's quite high probability there. So there's a lot of chances. So there's 4 out of 6. So I would put that here somewhere around this bit to say that it's very likely or getting towards certainly. Okay, so you got 6 people out of 24 pass the test. So this is a third here, 6, 12, no, sorry, it's a quarter. 6, 12, 18, 24. So where would that 6 over 24 be on the probability line? You would be looking at here, the quarter line here. So where I'm just putting D now. E, there are 60 seconds in a minute. Well, that's definitely true. So that goes on the right side. That's E there. And F, in a bowl of 10 fruit, there are 2 apples. So in a bowl of 10 fruit, there are 2 apples. And that's quite an ambiguous, that's quite a challenging one, that, because, you know, what other fruits could be in there? Could be bananas, oranges, satsumas. I think that's a harder one to answer. But if we're looking at 2 out of 10, I would say, you know, out of 10, chances are you might well get 2 out of 10 apples. This is a bit more of a difficult one because, you know, everyone might have a different opinion on that one. So write these fractions in their approximate place on the number line. You've got a fifth, 8/10, 12/24, 3, 3. So I'm going to label these 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1/5 is going to be at the very beginning. So that's 1. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we've got 8/10. That's going up more towards the higher scale. So 8/10 be around here. 12/24 is even. We put the 3 here underneath A. And 3 out of 3 means that something will definitely happen. It's certain. So 4 is in the very far right. Okay. I hope you found that useful. If you have any more questions about probability, do give me a shout, drop me an email. I'll be back in class on Wednesday, the 1st of December. You can also have a look at BKSB to look at the probability questions and content. If you are, however, if you are bear me a minute. If you are a level 2 learner, there is a website I would like you to look at. Just share my screen. So if you're a level 1 learner or entry level learner, you might want to look at the bbc.co.uk Teach Skill Wise probability link, the one I've highlighted there, and I'll send these all in an email as well. You might want to look over that just for some more general help with it. If you want to understand more about the events types, have a look at this Maths is Fun link. That's really useful. Level 2s, I really want you to look at this Maths Made Easy link. Okay, this level 2 stuff gets harder, looking at probability trees and calculating independent events, which is something that we haven't covered in today's lesson. So I would like you to have a look at that website. It's really useful, really important. Okay. All right, boys. So I will email that out to you. I hope this has all made sense. I hope this has all been okay. If you have any queries, as I said, do just drop me an email. Bye, everyone, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Take care.